Hey everybody, I'm Zach.
And I'm Jesse.
And you're watching Tesla Time News.
Episode 70
on Now You Know. So China is building solar roads.
So China has built a 1.2 mile long or 2 kilometer stretch of solar highway.
So it's already built.
This is already built. It's in the Jinan South Ring Expressway in the city of Jinan, which is, by the way, home to 7 million people.
Oh, this is a big city.
Big city.
Wow. So will it be able to carry, trucks and stuff?
It should be able to carry up to medium-sized trucks, and it's built using 3 different layers. The topmost layer is transparent concrete.
Transparent concrete?
I had never heard of before. Did some Googling and found out that it's very similar to concrete. It just so happens that this kind is transparent.
I think we should build lots more things out of transparent concrete. That sounds cool.
Pretty cool.
So the top is concrete, and then what?
And then solar panels, and then below it is an insulator to protect it from water and other such crap.
Cool. Only one problem I heard is that already a piece of this has been stolen.
Yes, so somebody literally stole the road. Now, it's weird because they took like a strip of highway.
Yes, 6 inches by 6 feet long.
What it sounds like, and what a lot of people are speculating, is that this piece was stolen to reverse engineer it so that way it can be sold for cheaper, which I think is interesting.
So let's see, where were the solar roadways, folks? They're based in Idaho. Where were they on the week of January 2nd?
Absolutely right. I think that this was pretty interesting. Solar roadways is a contentious issue. People seem to hate it for some reason,
or love it,
or people love it.
I love it.
I think it's...
and let's talk about why you should love it. Jinan has poor air quality. They estimate that 6% of the city's mortality rate is caused by air pollution.
Right.
Anything we can do to reduce air pollution by creating green energy is fantastic. And not only that, you can use the heat created from the road to help melt the snow and ice.
That's very true, and that's probably one of the reasons why I like solar roadways so much is the heating of the road. Some people hate it, though. Some people don't like that sometimes cars drive over it and stuff like that. But I think
that's great they're doing a test. Let's see how it works out. EVs can make electricity cheaper.
Well, okay, no, that's completely wrong because if everyone were to get electric cars, then the price of electricity would go up so much because everyone would need all this electricity to power their electric cars.
That's what people generally think. But BMW did an 18-month test from July of 2015 to December of 2016. And they got 100 volunteers to allow their BMW i3s to charge, depending on what was best for the grid. And the battery storage was used to help the grid when it needed it.
Okay.
So let's look at this little chart over here. So what you just said is true. A lot of people think that EVs are going to make it harder for the grid. I hear that all the time. Our grid can't support having more EVs. What are we going to do? This little chart shows that if we extrapolate how many more EVs are going to go on the road over the next couple decades, that the load drops as the number of EVs increases. Yes, that's right. As they increase the number of cars, the load on the grid decreases.
But that doesn't make any sense. How can that possibly happen?
All right, well, look at this next curve here, this next chart, which shows what's called the duck curve. And this is a new phenomenon that occurs as net energy load drops significantly throughout the day as a result of more solar energy production, and then it ramps up sharply later in the day when the solar production drops.
Oh, wow.
And see on the top there, that's 2012, and it was pretty flat.
And then every year after that, it's just been getting like a deeper and deeper trough.
And why is the trough getting deeper?
Because of solar energy.
Right, more and more solar.
That is amazing.
So what happens is in the middle of the day, you get all this extra energy that the grid doesn't really need.
Right.
And if you can take a car and say, hey, would you like some energy right now at noon? I'd just like to pump some energy into your battery. Yes, oh, great. Fill up that battery. Then at 6 o'clock, 8 o'clock at night, people are going home watching television. You go, oh, I need some more energy off the grid. Can you give me some of that energy back? Why, certainly.
So then you charge it back up. Well, so this is really interesting. So what you're doing is you're no longer, you're not drawing so much energy as much as you're storing it. So it's becoming energy storage as opposed to being energy consumption.
This is going to be a huge story over the next few years that I'm sure we're going to get more and more into. That the cars we're driving in are huge batteries. They're
Right.
giant power walls. They're multiple power walls.
Right. I mean, let's say a Tesla 100D is what? How many power walls is that?
So let's see, about 13 or 14 kilowatt hours and 100 kilos. So it's about 7. So you're driving around with 7 batteries.
Wow.
7
that's a
power
lot.
walls. And so, as you can see, if you stop thinking about your car as just a car and think about it as a mobile battery,
Right.
Wherever you plug it in, you're in the grid, basically. Your
Right.
house, your job. And so if you can be getting energy or giving energy, then you are a mobile battery for the grid. What is this I hear about India giving EV incentives?
Yeah, so the Ministry of Heavy Industries on Wednesday announced the introduction of electric vehicles in the public transportation systems of 11 cities.
Wow, so all these 11 cities are getting some kind of EV incentive.
Yes.
So under the current plan, the center will provide about $135,000 to $158,000 as a subsidy for a bus, which is about 60% of the cost.
Right.
And for taxis, they'll give 10 to 15%. And for auto rickshaws, which are those smaller vehicles, they'll give 20%. I didn't know this, but 83,000 two-wheelers have already been subsidized under this scheme.
I think that this is a step in the right direction for India. Certainly a place where we have not seen a lot of development in this.
Yeah, if you are some of our Indian viewers, please give us some information in the comments below about what you know about these EV incentives or EV cars in your area.
2017 was an excellent year for Britain's grid. It was the cleanest that it has ever been.
UK cut their carbon emissions in electricity by half since 2012.
Wow. UK also had the 4th cleanest power system in Europe and the 7th worldwide.
In April, UK had its first 24-hour period without using any coal since the Industrial Revolution.
Wow. Separate findings from power research group MyGrid Great Britain showed that renewable energy sources provided more power than coal for 90% of 2017.
Wow. And the cost of offshore wind power fell below the cost of nuclear for the first time in 2017.
Wow. These are huge steps in just a year. It's fantastic.
Well, you know what it's time for, Jess?
Time for
Model 3 News!
Whoa! Hey,
How
hi!
does that always happen? Well, there's a new Easter egg in the Model 3.
Okay.
Let's check that out. All right, so there's a new Easter egg on the Model 3. You tap the T, and that brings up your vehicle. And then you hold down the Model 3, the 3 number here, and something pops up. Your 3 drives away. I don't know if I caught that. And we've got the whole Tesla team that built the car, including Elon and Franz right there in the front. Isn't that cool?
Yeah, it's a nice little thank you from the team.
I love seeing that.
Yeah.
I'm going to pull that up a lot. I might just have that on my screen while I'm driving
It
along.
should be a little screensaver.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What else is new? Well, the car can go faster than we thought.
The reported 0 to 60 time of 5.1 seconds is actually a bit closer to 4.6.
Yeah, DragTimes got a 4.6.
That's half a second faster.
So a Model S, the slowest Model S, is about almost the same. It's at about like a 4.2, 4.3.
Right.
So you're getting almost Model S speeds here
Yeah.
in the Model 3.
It's-
Why do you think they did that?
I think it's to help differentiate between the Model S and the Model 3. But it just shows that the Model 3 overall is a super cool car.
Yeah, talking about cool, you might need winter tires for this thing.
Yes.
And so Tesla just released that there's 2 new winter tire packages. So for the 18-inch Aero wheels, there is the $1,700 package. And for the 19-inch wheels that we have, there's a $2,500 package.
And so that includes the wheels and the tires.
That's right. And so these are Pirelli Soto Series 2. Look like really good tires. It looks like a pretty inflated price. You could get these on Tire Rack a little bit cheaper. So you might want to decide to go with the all-weather tires that the car comes with and then pick up the snow tires yourself.
Tesla just brought on the new auto windshield wiper feature.
But that's not possible. There's no rain sensor in the Model 3, unfortunately. So.
Well, using some neural networks,
What?
they were able to get the camera to be a rain sensor. So it can detect rain, detect when it's wet, and turn on the windshield wipers automatically.
What?
Yep.
Wait, that's what this is?
Yes, so if you want, you can go check out our video of it. It should be, the card for it should be right above my head.
How did we test that if it's sub-zero temperatures?
We used hot water, and then it froze everywhere.
And turned our driveway into a skating rink.
Yes, but the good news is it wiped the water away before it froze, so we were all good.
You gave away the ending. Now everyone knows that it worked. All right, I guess we should go back to the studio and finish up the Tesla Time news, all right?
All right, here we go.
Let's go. Oh! Do we have to do that every week?
Yeah, sorry.
Oh.
By the way, a little bit bonus Model 3 news for you. If you haven't seen it already,
Yeah, we made a little news ourselves.
we took the Model 3 and without any changes, any snow tires or anything, we took it out to a snowy parking lot and bombed around. You can go check it out.
So Tesla released their Q4 results. So take a look at this chart. This is from Electrek.
Yes, I think this chart pretty much says it all.
It does say it all. I mean, in Q4, Tesla delivered 29,870 vehicles, of which 15,200 were Model S's, 13,120 were Model X's, and 1,550 were Model 3s. Now, this was their best quarter for the combined Model S and X deliveries, representing a 27% increase over Q4 of 2016 and a 9% increase over Q3 of 2017, which had been their best quarter. In total, they exceeded their previously announced guidance by delivering 101,312 Model S's and X's in 2017. That was a 33% increase over
That's fantastic.
Q4. They also, I want to read what they said in their release. During Q4, we made major progress addressing Model 3 production bottlenecks, with our production rate increasing significantly towards the end of the quarter. In the last 7 working days of the quarter, we made 793 Model 3s, and in the last few days, we hit a production rate on each of our manufacturing lines that extrapolates to over 1,000 Model 3s per week.
Nice.
As a result of the significant growth in our production rate, we made as many Model 3s since December 9th as we did in more than 4 months of Model 3 production up to that point.
This is excellent news for anyone waiting for a Model 3 or anyone who likes Tesla.
And let's just talk
That's
about
great.
what they gave a little guidance as to what's going to happen. They said we expect to have a slightly more gradual ramp through Q1, likely ending the quarter at a weekly rate of about 2,500 Model 3 vehicles. We intend to achieve the 5,000 per week milestone by the end of quarter 2. So what does that mean? It means they should be producing about 2,500 a week or 10,000 a month by the end of March, and then 5,000 a week or 20,000 a month by the end of June.
Right. This is really exciting, and this is pretty much just what we want to hear. No longer are the Model 3s just eking out. I mean, they're actually being produced, and they're going to start coming to people really soon. I mean, they're already starting to come to people.
Yes. I've been hearing from people on the East Coast that they're now getting their invites to order their Teslas.
That's pretty exciting.
You know what's exciting? Norway showed a 52% EV market share in December.
Wow.
It is showing that Tesla was the most popular automaker in Norway in December. The Model X was number 1. The Model S was number 2.
Wow.
It beat out every other car, including the VW Golf. 3,153 Teslas were registered in Norway in the fourth quarter of 2017.
Wow.
Now, Norway is the only country that has surpassed the 50% market share for EV sales in a month, and it's well on its way to reaching its goal of 100% of new cars being zero-emission vehicles by 2025.
So did you know that astronauts are going to be going to space this year in a SpaceX and Boeing rockets?
Wait, so we're not going to have to use the Soyuz launch pad anymore?
Finally, we, so for those of you who didn't know, because this is a very little known fact, we have not used the space shuttle for years now.
Right, I knew that.
And
how do we get people into space?
We've been getting people to space in the Russian Soyuz capsule, which takes off in Russia and lands in Kazakhstan.
And so we have to pay Russia for that.
We have to pay Russia to launch astronauts into space. No longer, because both SpaceX and Boeing are going to be launching astronauts to space this year.
That's right. SpaceX's most recent schedule shows us that they're going to have uncrewed test flights in February.
Yep.
And then they're going to have a crewed test flight in June of 2018. Boeing is
This year.
Yeah, this year. Boeing is right behind with a uncrewed and crewed flight for June and August.
Right.
So that's fantastic. Do you know that if you take Blue Origin, SpaceX, and others, the global space tourism market could be worth more than $34 billion a year by 2021?
That's crazy. So, I mean, the only space tourists right now are, what, astronauts? People at the International Space Station? They're technically tourists?
I guess, but I mean, not really. They're not really paying. We're paying them. We're talking about paying to go up and be a tourist.
Well, yeah,
it's
we
not
are
a thing
paying
yet.
them, aren't we?
Right, so they're not
That's
really
a great
tourists.
job.
They're yes.
That's
yeah, space tourism. It's going to be a thing, people.
yeah. All right. So speaking of SpaceX, the Falcon Heavy is hopefully going to be
look at
going
this
up
going
at
up.
the end of this month.
So I mean, it's on the launch pad right now. This is a time lapse that Elon released on his Twitter of the Falcon Heavy going up into position.
Yeah.
And so you're saying at the end of this month it's going? No, wait a minute. That rings a bell. We got an invite to something.
Yes. So we have an invite to see the Falcon Heavy be launched into space.
Yes.
Now, whether or not it's going to be this month's launch or a different launch, we're not quite sure, but we're fairly confident that it's going to be at the end of this month. So
oh my goodness.
Definitely stay tuned for that.
We're gonna
Subscribe
bring you
if you haven't already and you want to see that from, a different perspective.
Yeah, we're going to try and do whatever we can to like live stream, all that kind of cool stuff. And I mean, a roadster going into space, this is amazing.
Yeah.
I do want to point out that while you're watching a launch, especially if you're in Florida or California, be careful of this happening.
Yep.
It's a rocket.
No, but the thing is, it broke.
Whoa!
It broke.
Yeah, this was unfortunately on Interstate 10, westbound in the city of Banning, about 90 miles east of Los Angeles. They were watching the Falcon 9 launch a couple weeks ago.
Right, from moving cars on the highway.
Right.
Not great if you're the driver of one of those cars.
Yes.
And so they got into a car accident. Now, should we ban rocket launches or should we ban human drivers? Because autonomous cars are not going to be distracted by rockets launching
Good
or
point.
Meteors falling out of the sky or airplanes or
billboards.
Their girlfriend texting them or anything like that.
Right. I'd vote for B.
I think B because I think, there were 3 crashes that were caused by this one rocket launch.
That we know of.
Right. But in the same day, I would love to know how many crashes were caused by, texting and drunk driving and just being poor drivers in general.
Well, 6 million accidents a year on U.S. roads. So, yeah.
All right. It is time for the lightning round. Here we go.
No old cars are going to be allowed in Brussels pretty soon. Older diesels have been effectively barred from entering Brussels.
Yeah, so the new strict emissions controls are also going to be affecting petrol models to be targeted next year. The low emission zone is roughly a 100 square mile area around Brussels. It started to be enforced the beginning of January. Basically, any diesel made before 1997 is barred from entering. To enter, you'd have to pay a special daily ticket. We don't know how much of these are going to cost. The low emission zone is going to become increasingly strict in the coming years.
You heard about the big Tesla battery in Australia.
Yes.
Well, it was reported that Tesla was picked to build another battery system, a 20 megawatt battery system, to support the 204 megawatt wind farm at the Bulgana Green Power Hub in Western Victoria. So I know this seems small because it's 1/5 the size of the other one, but it's still ginormous.
It's still
number
a
of batteries.
huge battery pack, right? And
20 megawatts.
And it's going in to help a wind farm, which
That's right.
is great. So it gives, like we talked about earlier with the duck curve,
Levels out the curve.
levels out all curve.
Let's look at this, Jesse. If you're driving along and you're in your Model X one night and it's snowing, and you see a tractor trailer that's having trouble getting up a hill,
Yep.
you know what you should do?
Offer him some help.
Give him a tow.
Wow, look at this. So this happened in Raleigh, North Carolina. This was going up a slight incline with a light dusting of snow. Basically, the driver, I guess, hitched a chain around his...
Yeah, I would love to know more
package.
about how he did it, but Kyle Connor filmed his friend Ben Spreen pulling the truck with his Model X up a hill, and he said, quote, "No power limited at all. That really wasn't hard on the car. I've driven it much harder without heat soaking." Now,
Yeah.
what is heat soaking?
Heat soaking is where you drive your car like a crazy person, and as a result, the car heats up and limits your speed because you're asking for so much power. It generally will happen, in hotter temperatures. So
Now, do you think that they were pulling the truck with the truck, just in neutral?
no, I think that the truck was trying to do its best as well, but
But why would a Tesla Model X have better traction than a truck?
I think it has a lot to do with weight and tires. I don't think that the Tesla Model X had snow tires.
So it's Raleigh, North Carolina. Why would they have snow tires?
Right. So I think it's.
But I mean,
it's,
you haven't answered my question. Why would the Model X be better?
I think it would be because of the electronic control. So
Oh, so the
basically,
torque
instead of spinning out your wheels, or in some cases just limiting the power, it's able to actually know when it's slipping and just sort of sit right on the edge of slipping the wheels to provide as much torque as possible.
Remember when we talked about there's 4 states that have started to do battery legislation? Well,
Yeah.
New York just decided to spend $260 million on batteries. On January 3rd, New York Governor Andrew Cuomo delivered a state energy storage target of 1,500 megawatts.
That's a gigawatt.
Yeah, by 2025, and the state has put up $260 million in state money to help drive the investment, to help kind of get the private investment spurred.
I'm sorry, that's 1.5 gigawatts.
Right.
And so that would be, so multiply that times 4 would give you the megawatt or the gigawatt hours. So that
Okay.
would be 1.5 times 4.
So 6 gigawatt hours
6 gigawatt hours
of battery.
Just
in New York State.
right. And they need that battery now. We need that
Let's
much
start
batteries.
making the batteries.
So
hey, it's time for our video contributor story, and our buddy Howard has just sent us this cool video that he made of the Melby Strand Tesla supercharger. Take it away. Wow, that was like a blockbuster trailer.
yeah, I'm super excited to see this Melby Strand Tesla supercharger in theaters.
Yeah.
Do you want to see it in 3D or just in the regular 2D?
I'd like to see it in person, actually.
Oh, that's okay. Yeah, I suppose it's not going to be in theaters. That's too bad.
It's time for our Patreon bonus story of the week. If you would like to head over to Patreon and support us, you can watch this story for as little as $1 a month.
Yeah, so a quarter.
Well, that's right, a
You
quarter.
can see it
right.
for 25 cents. In other countries, I don't know what that means. Sorry. Tuppence? Probably not. That's a lot less.
We'll be right back. All right, we're back from our Patreon story of the week, and we have some really cool perks that we just added to our Patreon. One of them is the poll.
Yep.
If you give $2 a month,
We'll give you a poll.
well, even better, I think.
And then the next perk is for $4 a month, we'll give you a post.
It's sounding less like a good idea.
Okay, so in all seriousness, so for the poll, we will put out some polls, questions about, what would you like to see our next upcoming episode to be, A, B, C, D, E, F, G, and you can choose, I choose G.
And what's the post?
And the post is every so often we are going to post either a question or something that we would like you to comment on. And then if you comment on it, you can then become our MVP or our most valuable Patreon or Patreons. We might have several in our Tesla Time news segment. So this segment would be where we would be saying who our most valuable Patreon was and what their comment was and what the question of the post was.
That's right. We're doing this because we need to raise money for our Tesla semi-truck that we
Yes.
want to get, and we want to drive all around the place. So
Right. And we want to make sure that we are providing interesting things for our Patreons to be able to do.
that's right. There's a lot of cool perks coming, so go check them out. We want to give a shout out to our really special $5 a month Patreon supporters who give every month to help us with our channel. And this week we want to thank
Keith Christensen,
Jacob Mcclimon,
Lawrence D. Allen,
Greg McDougald,
Richard Erin,
Althli Thor Helgeson,
Mark Robinson.
and Cameron Roberts.
Thank you so much for being wonderful Patreon supporters. We couldn't do the show without you, so thank you.
It's time for Elon's tweet of the week, but it's
Yes.
not just a tweet, it's a tweet storm again.
Wow. Okay, so Elon Musk said, we're going to put an old school drive-in, roller skates, and rock restaurant at one of the new Tesla Supercharger locations in LA.
That's awesome.
That sounds like a
And
whole
not
bunch of
only
fun.
is it awesome, but then people started asking him. One person said, please say there will be popcorn. And Elon said,
Of course. And an outdoor screen that plays a highlight reel of the best scenes in movie history.
and you know
Wow.
that Spaceballs is going to be part of that.
Of course. I think he might just be hinting that he's only going to be playing Spaceballs on a loop. I'm not sure.
We'll be able to order from the Tesla touchscreen, right?
Elon Musk said, good idea. We can just have the menu pop up as soon as you put your car into park.
That's awesome.
I mean, imagine pulling in and being
Wow.
able to order something to eat right from your car, and
Wow.
someone with roller skates roll up, and
This is
that sounds like
wow.
a lot of fun.
That's going to be a 10 out of 10
yeah,
supercharger
absolutely.
right Elon also tweeted, "Come work at the biggest and most advanced factory on Earth, located by a river near the beautiful Sierra Nevada mountains with wild horses roaming free."
Yeah, so this is an open invitation to everyone to go work at his Gigafactory in Sparks, Nevada. Now, I can say that I've been there, and there are wild horses roaming free.
It's true.
And I've climbed one of those Sierra mountains.
It was a hill.
It was a big hill. You can see it. We'll put a card right here.
Yeah, not many people have seen that, but Jesse flew his drone over the Gigafactory.
Right. I climbed a mountain to fly it, and it was crazy.
Yeah, go check that out. All right, it's community mail time.
Community mail time.
What is this we're looking at, Jesse?
Our friends over at MIT have made a boring detector. It detects boring company hats. So if you...
So it uses like AI to...
uses AI to detect if something contains a boring hat.
That's hilarious.
So if you would like, you can post either an image or a video to be verified by the boring detector.
Yeah, so you just post on Instagram or Twitter with the hashtag boringdetector.
Right, and then it will be verified by the boring detector to see whether or not it contains a boring company hat.
Hilarious.
Which is, pretty cool.
That is hilarious.
Yep.
Link down below to the site. It's time for our viewer comment of the week.
All right, so Damien Reloaded this week said, "Thank you to everyone who works at Tesla. You bring hope in times of despair. The bit about the jobs should be a 2 or 3 minute video on its own that we could pass around with captions so that we can translate to other languages."
What
now,
is he talking about?
This was a section in our last video where we were talking about green energy jobs and how they outnumber coal jobs. So we gave permission to Damien Reloaded to take that section of video, put it on his channel, because Brent and Bobby are so busy, we don't really have time to chop it up, put it on our channel.
Guten Abend, gute Nacht, mit Rosen.
So, given special permission to Damien Reloaded, here the link should be somewhere down below. You can find it. It's a 2 to 3 minute long video. I think it's actually 1 minute and 27 seconds.
Yeah.
You can share it with people who tell you that coal is a good idea, because it's not. You know, if they are trying to say that coal creates jobs, you can basically shut them down with this one video, which I think is really great, because sending them a whole 30 minute long Tesla Time News is probably going to overwhelm them.
It's time for our Supercharger video reviews of the week, and I want to give a big thank you to all of our reviewers, and we have a really cool website that Nick, our trusty IT, wonderful coding programmer guru, helped us make.
I'm going to say Tech Whiz.
Tech
Wizard.
Nick the Tech Whiz.
Yeah.
So check out our website. The link is down below, where you can go now, and instead of having to send me the link and do all that, you just go to this website.
Right.
Upload
you can
it.
see a map of all the Tesla Superchargers.
Yep.
And the ones that have videos, you can go and just click watch the video.
This little green thing there shows you that there's a video you can watch. Also, it shows you the ones that are permitted, the ones that are under construction, and pretty soon we're going to have the destination chargers on the map.
Yes.
It's going to be an amazing map.
It's going to be
And we're going to
crazy.
allow for you to do your destination charge reviews. So,
All right, so definitely go
do
check that out. It's especially
remember
if
to
you're going
shoot
on
them
a
in
road
landscape
trip.
mode.
Right.
So, hi Zach, hi Jesse. We're here in Leonberg, that is next to Stuttgart, where they produce those Porsche and Mercedes. And you see it's an 8-stall Tesla Supercharger, and it's full, I think. So, and over there you will find McDonald's, as always.
Hello, Zach and Jesse. In Norway, in Ringdalsskogen, there's a brand new supercharger. 16 stalls, located so nice. You see why? On the other side of the road, we have Coop. We have Circle K with two Chatamo and TCS fast chargers, 50 kilowatt. This direction, there is a town called Larvik. There you can take the ferry from Norway to Denmark. So this place here is very good to stop and charge up before you go to Denmark.
Hey Zach and Jess from Tesla Times. Coming to you from Mansfield, California. I'm here at this cool 8-star stall charger, which is great because there's lots of food and places to shop here if you're waiting for your Tesla to charge. But the best part, if you look over here, you'll see that it's expanding to 20 stalls. So they're adding 12 stalls as we speak. So if you guys ever make it out this way, this will be a great place to stop. Thanks a lot.
Guys, this is Hervé from Cagnes-sur-Mer. You Americans probably call it Cagnes-sur-Mer. This is close to the French Riviera. And there is a 4 stall here, which is full. And it's close to a big shopping center where you have clothes, food, cinema, you even have a casino. And it's open on Sundays, which is rather rare in France. I mean, more and more open Sundays, but it's not always the case. And you have a small Tesla shop where you can try a car. Actually, they just went past and they could not park. Bye-bye.
This is Leonard Van Ryn coming to you from the new San Clemente supercharger. It is the only supercharger, I believe, with an ocean view. It's beautiful here. It's at the San Clemente outlets, and there's plenty of places to eat. Blaze Pizza, Starbucks, Rudy's, Bolology, and all the stores are beyond the parking garage there. It's a little bit of a walk, but not bad. There's 20 chargers here, and it hasn't ever been busy yet. So if you ever get into Southern California, be sure to stop at San Clemente. Thank you.
All right, so we are going to skip permit and constructions from now on because we figure that takes a long time and it really doesn't give you much.
There are so many.
Yeah.
All the time. And we have to say them 3 times.
Right, and then Brent and Bobby have to edit them. So we're going to do just open.
All right.
Hope you guys like it. There's 15 new supercharger locations this week. That's more than 2 a day.
Wow.
All right, so the 8 stall, which is the number 9 in Massachusetts, by the way, is the Cambridge, Massachusetts. Now, we are number 18 at the moment in the country for superchargers, but very soon we're going to move up into the 9th position once the construction and permitted ones are done.
That's pretty good. We're a small state.
Yeah. We should go visit that in the Model 3.
Oh, I think we will. Stay tuned on Facebook. The 16 stall in Mascouche, Quebec, Canada. That's north of Montreal, which is, by the way, really close to our buddies Sobi and Max at Evoto.
That's right. They're probably going to be using this supercharger all the time.
Yes.
If you need a car rental and you want it to be a Tesla in Montreal, you have to go to Evoto.
Yep.
The 10 stall in Antwerp, Belgium.
The 10 stall in Guadaman, Spain.
Number 3 in New Zealand is the 4 stall at Palmerston North, New Zealand.
Number 39 in Canada, the 20 stall in Laval, Quebec, Canada.
Hey, that's near Montreal too.
That's another reason to go with Evoto.
I want to give a shout out to our friend Felipe in Portugal who got us these great photos of the number 1, the first stall in Portugal, the 8 stall in Fatima, Portugal.
The 6 stall in Beijing, Mayun, Wenzhou, China.
The 50 stall, you heard me right, that's right, it's the 3rd 50 stall they have.
Wow.
In Beijing at the Heirun Mansion in China.
That is crazy.
Yes, it is.
The 6 stall in Jiaxing Lamont Hotel, China.
The 10 stall in Beijing at the Wangjing Jinghusheng, China.
Number 188 in China is the 6 stall in Shanghai, Zhangjiang, Greenland, China.
Number 7 in Mexico is the 6 stall in Silao, Mexico.
Number 64 in California and 460 in the United States is the 16 stall at Mount Shasta, 134 Morgan Way.
And the 2nd Portuguese site to open up, number 377 in Europe, 1136 in the world, is the 8 stall at Montemor o Novo, Portugal.
Wow, that is a lot of superchargers. 2 per day. Yeah. More than 2 per day. That's a lot. And a 50 stall to boot. So that's crazy.
Amazing.
So for those of you who missed the opportunity to use our referral code and get a ride in the next generation Roadster, fear not, because
we have more referral codes.
We have more referral codes to give you. Contact us over Facebook and we will give you a special magical referral code. This will give us the opportunity to not only give test rides to everyone in the United States, but also in Europe. So that could be awesome.
Yes, will be awesome.
Just want to mention a quick past video. Check out the Model 3's Real Winter Range, Part 1. So you can see what it's like to drive the Model 3
in moderate winter
in
temperatures.
pretty cold temperatures.
Soon is coming part 2, where we do it in subarctic temperatures.
Yep.
Thank you so much, everybody, for watching Tesla Time News, and stay tuned for more awesome stuff coming up about the Model 3, because we're busy filming them.
If you like this video, please hit the like button. If you didn't like this video, you can hit the dislike button.
Oh, where's that?
That's also an option. It's right next to the like button. You can also hit the subscribe button if you want to see more videos like these. And then after you hit the subscribe button, there's like a little bell button. And if you want to see every single video that we come out with, you can hit that one, and it will tell you all about you'll get notifications on your phone, you'll get emails, however you do the internet.
You won't have time for anything else.
No, because we pump out content on this channel. So thank you so much for watching.
Now you know.